All right, Avery, you got it?
I've got you. We'll start first with Megan Triplett.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. It looked like there in the second half, the momentum changed. What was the difference there for you guys? And what can you just say about the attitude that this team brought in that second half?
Yeah, I thought, first half, the Bulls played phenomenal. Give them a lot of credit. I mean, they came out, I think at one point they were 8 for 12 from the three-point line. They were just picking us apart. I didn't think we had the energy, in the first half, and luckily it was a tie game going into halftime, but just really emphasized, just raising our level of physicality. We did a couple of things differently in guarding their pick and rolls and dribble handoffs, trying to be a little bit more physical there. Team that, is really post heavy. They go at try to create a lot of mismatches, whether it's their bigs or their smalls. We try to do some scheme things differently there just to disrupt them a little bit more, come out with a pretty good start there in that third quarter, a couple stops, turnovers, and that fueled our offense. I say it all the time, our defense has got to fuel our offense, but we didn't have that in the first half, had it in the third quarter especially. They made their run there in that fourth quarter, but we were able to hold them off. But, just not having the physicality we needed in that first half, it's a good test for us. We talked about that. It's tough sometimes, but we raised our level and we responded in the second half, and I'm proud of the guys.
Drew Hill.
Yeah, Taylor, just generally speaking, how nice is it to get off to a good start on this road trip, which is probably going to be pretty tough?
Yeah, I mean, it's always great to start a road trip off on a win. This was a challenging one. Beating the same team twice in a week is never easy. They gave us a great test, and I'm glad we, came out on top for sure. Definitely had a lot of growth, in the span of the first half to the second half. So it's a good way to set off a road trip, but now we've got to learn and put this in behind us. I mean, obviously we got a game tomorrow against a great ball club in the Bucks and a long road trip. But, I've said all season long, and especially now during this stretch, we just got to take it one day at a time. So hopefully we can build off of this, little momentum we had in the second half and kind of carry that forward, that physicality, that urgency, obviously unbelievable, 33 assists, great pace. I think we racked up over 20 plus points in the fast break. We got to need that every single night. And that's the message to the team, having that as our kind of driving force, defense to offense every single night. We're going to need that, especially on this road trip.
Sean Coleman.
Coach, congrats on the win. You mentioned 33 assists. It seems like the team is consistently getting more consistent at hitting those numbers, where when they do it under you being the coach, the winning record is phenomenal. 30 assists, 15 or more threes, 6 to 8 different guys hitting multiple threes in the game. The offense is really seeming to click up and down the roster with contributions from everyone across the board.
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it. Contributions from everybody. When we kind of embrace that mentality, that unselfishness, obviously you need the shots to fall in order for those assists to go up, but that was a big emphasis tonight. They kind of changed their game plan, the Bulls, against us. So we had to seek out more 3-pointers tonight than getting into the paint. So we had to kind of adapt there. But when you get production up and down the roster, really proud, of our bench. I thought they really turned it around there in that second half. Seeing John Conchar and Killian get opportunities tonight. Obviously, Melton Justice, are going to be back very soon. So those guys are doing a great job stepping in and really helping us on both sides of the floor. The 3-point line, the playmaking, the driving and kicking, that energy there with that second group was huge for us. In that second half, building off what the starters did to start the third quarter.
Parker Fleming.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, he had a great game all around, but really that first quarter, first half for Xavier Tillman, the 3-point shooting, the two-way play with blocks and steals, finishes on both ends. Do you really think that sequence there, that first quarter, that first half, really just like flashed the upside that Xavier has on both ends of the floor?
Yeah, I mean, I think X shows a lot of versatility on both sides of the floor. I thought he ran the floor really well. Was a great screen setter. Obviously, found moments to get out to the 3-point line, knock it down. I just love the confidence he's showing there over the last couple of games. But you said, especially defensively too, just versatility, block shots, steals, just different coverages and executing against, they had a lot of different bigs, he ended up matching up against. He just relishes those opportunities to get better and to see him have that productivity in different ways on both sides of the floor. It definitely shows, what kind of player he is and what he can become. And we're going to push him to get better in those areas and become more versatile and consistent in those areas night in, night out.
Adam Tyke.
Hey, Coach, wanted to ask you about a little tweak to the rotations. It seemed to me like you wanted to have one of Ja Morant or Jonas Valanciunas out there at all times tonight. I think just 2 minutes in the first half where neither of those two were on the court, and then just 1 minute in the second half. What was sort of the thought process behind that shift in lineups?
Yeah, I think, kind of going back, obviously, with BC out tonight and a couple other guys, similar to what we experienced on the East Coast road trip, we had to kind of play around with the rotations a little bit and, maintain that, that chemistry with our starting group, but also, fill some gaps there, with a couple guys on the bench that were out. So just kind of went with, JV being, a guy that we could maybe insert with those bench guys. And, they flourished tonight. I thought they really did a great job in the third quarter, start of the fourth quarter. And that's just, something that we kind of done previously and we had some success with, and felt like, with the lineup, and the players available tonight, this was something that we had built confidence in just recent memory. So let's go back and run it back. And those guys did a great job tonight again.
That's all the questions that we have. Thank you, Coach.
Great. Thank you, everybody.